Snow and rain may be making roads wet across Utah tonight, but much of the state remains in extreme drought.
Our population, it's said, is outpacing our water supply. Right now, the state's moving ahead with the Lake Powell pipeline and the Bear River project with the goal of increasing our available water supply. But a local economist says we actually have enough to support millions more people already if we just make some changes.
Yeah, but those changes would be fighting words in farm-friendly Utah. Reporter Peter Rosen asks, cities or farms? Who gets the water?
In Box Elder County, water nourishes Clay Carter's alfalfa and a big part of his identity, Utah's identity.
Keeping roots in the ground is something that is of value.
At the same time, it raises a question from economist Gabriel Lozada.
We can't have it all. There's no free lunch, economists like to say.
A question farmers probably won't like. In the cities and towns,
leaders in Oakley decided to halt new construction, urging Utahns to water only twice a week.
And in the fields,
we're in a tough spot. This year, it's serious.
The summer of 2021 made the point clear.
If we look at today into the future, how we use water today into the future, no, we don't have enough water to meet our future demand.
The tug of war over water is going to grow.
Here's Utah's water supply. Residents in this fastest growing state in the nation, the population is expected to double in 50 years, uses a little more than 12%, most of it for their yards. But farmers use about 3/4, most of it to grow alfalfa hay. That's what Carter grows. And in Utah, a lot of that, though not Carter's crop, is shipped overseas to, say, feed cows in China. Yet agriculture accounts for just 2% of the state's economy. So now, here is Lozada's question. Wouldn't it make more economic sense to pay some of the farmers not to grow hay and divert that water to a growing population?
If you diverted a small percentage of Utah's agricultural water to urban areas, Utah's population could increase quite a bit.
Lozada says reallocating water used for hay could allow Utah's population of 3 million, if people kept watering their yards, to grow to 20 million. If residents completely stopped irrigating their yards and that water was used only for indoor use, he says there could be enough water for almost 60 million people. Of course, that wouldn't happen overnight. Rules would need rewriting, and infrastructure to transport and treat the water would need to be built.
The volume in that
Clay Carter looks at this not just as a farmer, but as an engineer. At his day job, he runs an automation company. The answer, he says, is more efficiency.
There's enough water in this state to accommodate all of the interests that want and need it if we'd quit wasting it.
Carter grew up irrigating like this, using inefficient dirt canals and siphons. Canal water seeps into the dirt, and because the siphons aren't easily turned on and off, there's overwatering.
So I'm going to hit abort.
Now look at this. Instead of siphons,
Going to be opening valves.
he's got an app on his phone. In conjunction with the state water optimization program, he engineered automated irrigation. So far, even with 25% less water, he's grown 50% more hay.
You can't bury your head in the sand. Ag does need to get more efficient. We need to be able to give farmers an incentive and protect their livelihood. I mean, that's what we're literally talking about when we talk water. There are people's livelihoods that depend on it.
Carter grew up working in the fields and started farming again because of a value that can't be measured.
There is a value that comes from a life that's tied to agriculture.
A future for Utah with exactly the same amount of agriculture that we have right now, but many more people, that can't happen. Something's got to give.
Lozada says we have the water right now to solve growth. The real threat is global warming. Utah gets most of its water from snowpack and over decades has seen less snowfall. And the Colorado River, which Utah uses, has dropped significantly through 20 years of continued drought. And this in a state with some of the cheapest residential water in the country and per person, one of the highest rates of consumption.
Leaving the situation with water in Utah the way it is right now is not an option. We can't stop climate change.
Peter Rosen, KSL 5 News.
Peter, thank you. Of course, this raises questions about what farmers can do with any water they do save, especially considering Utah's use it or lose it water rights. So a state agriculture conservation expert says farmers would need more flexibility.